Hi, Chester. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hi, my name is Chester Finn. I live in Albany, New York. I am an advisor to the Self-Advocacy Association of New York State. I work for OPWDD as an individual and family advocate, and I advocate for all the people across the state that receives services from OPW.
Okay, can you tell us a little bit about yourself personally? Give us a little bit of background there.
Personally, I enjoy sports. I enjoy football, which I am a super Buffalo Bills fan. I like the New York Yankees, Lakers and Knicks in basketball. And occasionally, I like to play sports. I like to play basketball. I used to run out and play football, but I don't do that anymore. I'm older, so I want to preserve my bones.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Thank you. And I don't blame you. Chester, today we're going to talk about your history with media. You actually helped start Self-Advocacy in Action, didn't you?
Yes, I was one of the self-advocates in the self-advocacy group for, at that time, OU2, which was Lockport workshop. And I was part of that group, and John Hyder, who was the advisor at that time, was telling us about public access TV. And I knew that there was a station in Lockport, New York. So he said that, anyone could participate. So we went down to the station to see Greg, who was in charge. And so I talked with him, and he told me all the things we would need to do. And I bugged him for 2 weeks because he never got back to me. I'm persistent. So then after a while, he decided that we could, and what we needed to do was we had to have a host. So I became the host, and actually part of my job was finding guests and set up interviews with them. And then I didn't want to do that all by myself. So we made John Fritz, who also worked with me at the workshop, as a co-host. And then from time to time, his sister, Sandy Fritz, was a co-host. And then a number of people in the group took part in being co-hosts. And it was fun. In fact, I think I have some of the old, this is dating me back, videotapes, but I'm not ashamed of my age or, my history.
No, you shouldn't be. Now, as you know, I'm a part of the show. When was your first show? Do you remember around? Because it's been close to like 30 years now, hasn't it?
It was, okay, when we started the show, when I left in 97, it would have been we had the show for like 6.5 years when I left already.
So are we in 97? So it started around 91. Wow, that it's been a while, but it's been great being part of your legacy with that. Now, why do a show like that? Why be on TV? What did it matter? Why does it matter?
What I thought was, we always, talk about our groups, and people think that, we're just part of an agency or a workshop. And we were much more than that, because our group felt that we needed to do things in the community to give back to the community. So we had food drives, Toys for Tots, and we also had a voter registration drive, which we registered over 500 people in the city of Lockport and Niagara County. So we thought that was important. So starting the show was to show the abilities, what we could do, and how we could involve the community. So we interviewed people like the principal from the high school. We interviewed Sandy's boss at Pizza Hut. In fact, I got a free pizza out of that. Nobody else in the group went and got the free pizza when he told us we could have one, but I did, of course.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you. I would too. I would too. No, that's awesome. So you wanted to bridge the community with people with developmental disabilities. And
Yes,
I think we've continued that legacy with the show and the things that we record and what we do. Now, now when you started the show, were you nervous? Were you what how did you feel during that
well,
time? Because so many people
well,
are afraid to do things, right?
well, at first it was like the cameras were there and, the lights and stuff. And then I thought to myself, well, I don't see those cameras that much. They're not going to bother me. So what I did was I would ask questions of our guests, things that I would want to know. So I kind of put myself in the part of watching TV and what I would want someone to ask. And so I felt comfortable interviewing people. Even when I left the show and moved to Albany, they would still replay some of the shows, and people were, "Oh, I saw you on television. What is your topic going to be next week?" And I was like, "No, you didn't see me on TV. That was a recording." But the history of what you guys have carried on is showing people what we're capable of doing and not the negative part of it. And, the community became a part of the show. And we branched out in the Buffalo and Rochester. So we were really making the whole area a part of what happens.
Yeah, and now that we're going more mobily and we're on YouTube, people can see it from anywhere. So I know that Chester, you would say, people should tune in and watch. Um,
Yes.
my I want to know what you think should be the wave of the future for the show, for digital media. What should be covered for people with disabilities?
I think part of it would interview um, individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities as well as people in the community to show how people can work together. Because I think a lot of times people look at it as, oh, those individuals, they go to a workshop or they live at a house that the agency runs. So they forget that we have lives just like they do. We have the same things, like I talked about in the beginning about being a Yankee fan or a Buffalo Bills fan. We went to Buffalo Bills games for a couple of years from the agency with recreation. We were season ticket holders for the Buffalo Bills. So in some of those games in the 90s, I went to the games and went to the games and sat on snow and yelled at the Jets and other teams that came in. And I got to meet, a lot of the Buffalo Bills at that time. I got autographs from mostly the whole team, cards signed and different things
Oh,
that they
that's
did around
awesome.
the area.
That's awesome. So you think that the media should show more interaction and continued like inclusion for people with disabilities, and getting people with disabilities to see it as well, so that they
Yes.
know what's going on. No, that's awesome. No, this show was groundbreaking. I remember seeing your episode on smoking in the group homes. you know, about talking about people's rights to do what other people. They're not saying that you do that now, but that was back in the 90s. And I was just blown away. I was like, wow. You know, I was watching an old episode way back when. I was like, wow, I'm gonna do that someday. And here I am on the show. So doing the
Yes, I
show.
mean, that's what people have to do, is take inspiration of, you don't have to do the same things that we did when we started the show, but do things that's around you now, some of the issues that are important. And it's still important to talk about the rights of individuals with disabilities and what we're capable of doing. I mean, this on abilities, it doesn't mean that you can't do something. It means that you can and you're capable. So it's just a matter of a person believing in themselves. And that's what a lot of people don't do.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Chester, for coming
Yes.
on Self-Advocacy in Action today. And everybody keep watching.